Hello, everybody. This is Gerald Salenti, and it's Tuesday, September 26th, 2023. And your new Trends Journal's coming out soon. And here's the cover. Oh, yeah. Just like a slob, look like a slob. It's the American way. Yep. Slobola. One after another. It's a freak show. I have a picture of my parents' wedding in my book, What Zizzy Gave Honey Boy. You could get this, by the way, of everything I've written. I've written a lot of stuff over a lot of years. Best-selling books, Trends 2000, Trend Tracking, far better than Megatrends, Time Magazine. But anything I've written, this is my favorite. This is what America used to be. The soul of America, the spirit. Napolitano, born in the Bronx, born to be free. And I just can't see good, but here's a picture of my parents' wedding. 1934. Look at this. Look at this. My father worked in a fish store, may he rest in peace. They were laborers. They worked in factories. People had style and grace. You look at the great musicians, the Count Basies, the Duke Ellingtons, the Ella Fitzgeralds, the Peggy Lees, the style and grace, gone. Yep. And it shows you with that guy, Fetterman. What a, it's okay to dress like a slob and go to the Senate. You know why? Because they're a bunch of slobby pieces of shit, right from the top down. Out of his fucking mind, Mitch McConnell. Diane Not-So-Feinstein, gone and out of her mind. A freak show. Oh, can't yell, can't scream. Got to suck and bow down and take the crap. Anyway, going back to what's going on in the markets today. Again, the Trends Journal is history before it happens. Unlike the major media, which is nothing more than bullshit. These are the facts. Today, the markets, the Dow is down almost 400 points. Very bad day over there in Asia, not great in Europe. We warned about this. These are just a few of the clips of what I said was going to happen. It's going to start happening in late September, October. The reality is going to set in. But as we said, the big decline is going to start happening in September into October. Again, we believe they're going to start going down in September and October. But don't worry, things are going to look good during the summer. You're not going to get the reality until the end of September and October. The reality is going to start hitting in mid-September. They're saying the worst is yet to come in late September and October. I maintain my forecast that late September into October, that's when you're going to see the big decline. Trends Journal had forecast that the markets would go down late September and into October. On the economic front, we had forecast that the markets would go down in September, late September, October. So we're going to see the markets go down in September. That's our forecast. And they may crash by October. Very, very possible. The economy is going to go down. The equity markets we're forecasting are going to go down. Today's the 31st. It's not going to be a happy September. All right? There you got it. This is just beginning. This is very simple. And they don't talk about this in the media. The markets were artificially propped up when the scumbag pieces of shit, low-life politicians, and again, you saw me wearing that shirt. Hey, politicians, who the fuck are you to tell us what to do? You got the back of the shirt? Yep, you get it at trendsjournal.com. These are the scumbags that lock down society. to fight the COVID war back in 2020. Go home, close down your business. And what did they do? Around the world, they pumped in trillions, countless trillions of dollars of fake money printed on nothing and backed by nothing. And in the United States, zero interest rate policy. The EU kept negative interest rates, one country after another, artificially propping this thing up. So then you had inflation. And the low-life scumbag pieces of shit said, no, Salenti, you're full of crap. You don't know what you're talking about. Yell and scream that it was only temporary. So did Lagarde. And how about Powell? It's only transitory. So they created this inflation bubble, a bubble that is ready to burst. And as a matter of fact, there's an article in this week's Trends Journal by Gregory Mannarino. Maximum saturation. That's right. Maximum saturation. They saturated the markets with all this cheap money, but they don't talk about that anymore. Not even a word about it. Nothing. So now they raised interest rates, and the phony game is over. You're looking at the numbers. U.S. housing prices break records. That's the latest from S&P Core Logic Case-Shiller Housing Index. All right? While new home sales are way down. Way down. They're at like Panic of '08 levels. But yet prices are going up. There's no inflation. So now the fear is they're going to keep raising interest rates. But even if they don't raise interest rates and they keep them where they are, the economy can't take it at this level. Again, as we kept saying, week after week, month after month, that it takes 17, 18 months for the high inflation rates to hit the economy. You don't feel it right away. And now you're feeling it. Yeah, home sale contracts came in at $675,000 for August. Nothing. Yep. And we also said, we're not gloom and doomers, that back in November of 2022, following the U.S. midterm elections, we said the S&P 500's gone up 16.3% over the last 40 midterm elections. Being the data that exists now, they're going to keep going up in 2023. But then we said that following the holiday season, reality would set in around March and it would go down. But then it would spike back up. And that's precisely what happened. Your facts are in the magazine and in these broadcasts. So now going back to the equity markets, oil prices. We said that they would hit $100 a barrel this year. They hit 96. Now they're down to around 93 and change, almost 94. So basically they bought $4 off from where we said. And with the war ramping up in Ukraine and Russia cutting back its diesel exports because they need the fuel, you may see oil prices go way above that, and people can't afford it. And in Europe, it will be much, much worse because of the sanctions they put on Russia. And countries like Germany got 40% of the gas and oil from Russia, and now they're getting next to nothing. So now the prices are going to go way up. So that's on the economic front. And gold, we said gold would go down as interest rates went higher and the dollar got stronger. The dollar is now at an 8-month high. Gold prices are going to go up when interest rates go down. And they're going to skyrocket when the markets crash. because then reality hits the street. What we're talking about now, 90% of the people have no clue. All the major news is that Trump isn't, guilty of fraud. Great. But what about what else is going on in the world? Hey, did you ever hear of the Minsk Agreement? What's the Minsk Agreement? They have known nothing. So the people don't know anything about the facts. So when the markets crash, reality sets in, and the pain that they're feeling, they start really, really making it felt by cutting back on what they're buying. And today, Target closed 9 stores. And you know what? Citing theft and employee safety. Oh, yeah. Hey, Target. What, do you got a fat mouth? Why don't you say why this happened? How about somebody saying why it's happened other than us? Because of the fucking bastards and bitches that locked down the fucking economy to fight the COVID war. We're fighting the COVID war. We're little pieces of shit. We're fighting the COVID war. And the scumbags, the media that sold the fear and hysteria. This did not exist before the COVID war. All you little prostitute war whores. Yep. War whores on parade. That's all you are. This did not exist. And as I said, and in your Trends Journal, going back to March of 2020, when things began to lock down, and by April, 97% of America is locked down. When people lose everything and have nothing left to lose, they lose it. And they've lost it. That's just some of your economic data in this week's Trends Journal. Again, where are the rates going? Dollar climbs as investors see higher rates ahead. Corporate bankruptcies. They're ready to reach a 13-year high. Home sales, bop-a-da-boom. Down, prices up. And again, bank lobbies spending millions to kill modest regulatory change. What's going on with the banks to bandits? Trends on the global economic front, with the global debt, $307 trillion. The businesses going out of business. The jobs that are going down. What's going on in Turkey, England, Germany, Canada, Japan, China, all over the world. We're giving you what nobody else is. And then, of course, the Ukraine war trend update. Hey, how about them saluting the Nazis up there in Canada, huh? Oh, the MP clown quit. Yeah, Heil Hitler. Again, what's going on in the Ukraine war? Featured guest articles by Dr. Joseph Mercola. More masquerades. Featured guest article by John and Nisha Whitehead. A nation of snitchers. Yep. Department of Homeland Security is grooming Americans to report on each other. Oh, Homeland Security? Brought to you by that little warmongering daddy boys freak, George W. Bush. We had no Homeland Security. We had no Patriot Act. What a great name that Orwell could have come up with. Again, and if you don't have time to read this, you could listen to it. The Trends Journal. And it's averaging over 160 pages a week. You read what you want, but you're getting everything that you need. Trends in Technocracy by Joe Duran. Nobody puts him out like he does. Duran's the technocracy man. This is one of his books you could get on on Amazon. Be Human. Yep. Trends in cryptos, trends in the COVID war, trends in geopolitics, trends eye views, ultra-processed foods, and on, what aspartame is doing, and a whole bunch of stuff. Trends in high-tech science by Ben Davis, and trends in artificial intelligence. We have an entire section on what's going on in artificial intelligence. And again, when you go back and you look at what's happening with all of the interest rates in Canada, for example, the Bank of Canada decided not to raise interest rates. Oh, now the new inflation numbers came in higher than expected. Over there in England, oh, the inflation rate was only 6.7%. So the Bank of England didn't raise interest. 6.7%. What are you fucking kidding me? And this thing's been going up like crazy. So the reason they're not raising interest rates and they're holding them where they are is because they know how bad this economy is. They know how bad it's going down. But don't worry. When all else fails, they take you to war. Hey, United States sending more tanks over there, huh? Oh, yeah, more long-range missiles to fight the Ukraine war. And again, we have a whole section in here, week after week, Ukraine war trend update. And again, as we've said, they've lost this war. And it's only the war whores that are keeping it going. Yep, we said long ago, don't count on the counteroffensive. Remember the spring counteroffensive that didn't start until the summer, and how all the fat mouths were bragging and how Ukraine was going to win? They gained next to nothing, a couple of meters. Yeah, for the guy that's the president of Ukraine, a real hero, Zelensky, who plays the piano with his penis. Not making it up. And now he shows up and he's like a Fetterman the way he dresses. Look at him. Isn't that great? Oh, yeah, like he just came out of the foxhole, right? Look at he's a guy he's still an actor. You got it? He's not a fighter, he's an actor. And look how the United States supports them, huh? All you clowns in Congress that support this, go over there and fight or shut your fucking mouth and stop stealing my money. Stop stealing my money. Yep, there you got it. Only believe Zelensky. He can play the piano with his penis. There's your cover of your Trends Journal. And again, here's your cover of this week's Trends Journal. And maybe him and Fetterman should have a little duo. Yeah, maybe they both, I don't know if, I don't know if Fetterman could play the piano with his penis. He's too tall. All right, that's your Trends Journal. And remember tomorrow, Salenti and the judge, Judge Andrew Napolitano, has a lot to say. We're in a very serious condition right now. And again, my greatest fear is when all else fails, they take you to war. Don't believe me? What followed the Great Depression? Don't believe me? What followed the dot-com bust? War. They get your mind off it. Yeah. You ready for this? American way. No peace, only war. We'll know our disinformation program is complete when everything the American public believes is false. William J. Casey, CIA director under Ronald Reagan, 1981. I thought it was Goebbels, but no. So there you got it. Go to trendsjournal.com, and get history before it happens. You better prepare for what's coming ahead because it's going to be the roughest road that I've ever forecast or ever seen in my entire life. Thanks for tuning in.
At the Trends Journal, the best investment you could make because it's the best investment into your mind and it can change how you look at the world.
His work is actually a gold mine. Anybody interested in politics, political trends, economic trends, social trends, cultural trends, you have to follow him, Gerald Celente.
The Trends Journal is one of the greatest sources of information, and and it really is. You're predicting these things well ahead of time. I would encourage everyone to go grab the latest copy.
Been a Trends Journal subscriber for 20 years. I just have to commend you. What you guys have put together in your latest Trends Journal, there's nothing like this out there.
Sir, everything that you predicted about the economy, you were absolutely right. So I have followed you all this time. So please take a look at the Trends Journal.
You correctly forecast that the Fed would hike rates quite aggressively, correctly said that initially gold and silver would drop as the Fed starts to raise rate to 1.5% and above. When we spoke last, Bitcoin was around 49,000. You said you expect to drop, and if it drops below 30, 35, then it could really drop.
Trends Journal, which I would encourage people to go and check out. It's actually a 200-page document, pure data-driven analysis.
Gerald Salenti, the top trends forecaster in the world. Gerald, you had an interesting call back in September of last year. You said gold had bottomed, which is exactly what happened. And here we are, and we're above $1,900.
Subscribe to the Trends Journal. Read history before it happened at trendsjournal.com.